Hello and welcome to Good Builds. We're back with another episode of Satisfactory, and we've been doing a bit of exploring. I am out along the shore here, just checking things out, looking for slugs and spheres and all kinds of stuff, so I thought we'd turn on the recording in case there's something cool going on with Ada here.
Witness the deep and sing for us.
I am still unable to initiate communication. How are you doing it?
We composed a resonant song to curb the effigy, tapping into the inner currents. We sacrificed our blood and our temples and let the metal in from the void to eat our flesh.
That's a lot to unpack. How do you tap into these inner currents?
Consume our blood, worship at our altars, curb the melody.
I do not understand.
Flood frequencies paint straight lines. The blood is a teacher. Each altar is a window.
Processing data.
Very cool. So we've been busy off camera here picking up a bunch of slugs. We haven't let too much time go by, but we have been trying to just do some of the basic exploration type stuff off camera here, mostly because it involves a lot of me falling off of things and dying when I don't pay attention to our fuel. But you can see we're pretty close to the base. Our original iron facilities over there, our refineries are all down there, and I see a hard drive location right up on top of the hill here, so we better make sure to grab that. And this one doesn't even have any restrictions. Oh, look at that. We definitely need to be getting more hard drives to get some of these alternate recipes unlocked, I think. It's an aspect of the game that we've kind of ignored up until now. I mean, we've gotten a few good recipes, but really we should probably be trying to pick up as many of them as we can, especially in the early levels. There's some really good recipes. And as I unlock more tech, it becomes harder and harder to get those earlier level recipes out of the queue. So I think what we're going to do is just keep looking for more hard drives and see what we can do to get those unlocked. I think there's even a MAM research thing where I can scan for hard drive locations, so we'll probably need to do that at some point. And as long as we're starting off the episode here, I think this is going to be the last of this format of video before I try to transition things into more live streaming. This game lends itself really well to just spending some time and exploring and building and going back and forth, and editing that content has proven to be quite challenging for me. And so I thought maybe it would be an interesting experiment to transition into trying to do some live streams. So this video is going to be slated to come out on, I believe, Sunday afternoon. I've doubled up my videos. I'm going to be posting 2 videos a day for the remainder of this week that I'm recording this all in. And then starting next Monday, I will be trying to stream Satisfactory a few days a week between, I think, noon and 3 p.m. Eastern time is what we're going to try out here. So I thought that I would just take a moment to share that here in the video while we're still doing just a little bit of exploration. And today's goal is going to be to finish off some of these technologies here in the current phase. We're not quite to a point where we're ready to get to phase 3. We've got a lot of stuff that we need to figure out how to build still. So we're going to be just focusing on knocking out some of our tiered objectives between now and then. If I don't die to these bugs, it'll be a miracle. I ran out of inhalers, so I've got to be quicker than I'm being. All right, let's try this again. Nice. Well, I'm going to collect a few of these slugs that I see right in this spot in front of me, and then we'll head back up to the base and we'll see if we're ready to start getting into some more serious research and milestones here. I have done a few tweaks over at the refinery, nothing huge, but looking around, there's a few pure oil nodes over there that we could bring in and really set up a bigger oil refinery and thus a fuel system. So that's one of the projects that I've got on my list. Our fuel is doing good now that we've rerouted some things, but we do need to figure out how to kind of keep things going. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to monologue here, and this guy is just wrecking me. I see one more over there that I want to go get. We're so greedy. Every time I try to go somewhere, I seem to be finding another Mercer-sphere. I'm not complaining, but we were trying to get back to the base.
Scripture. Tuning into the effigy.
I suspect there is a misunderstanding. The effigy and I are different entities.
Discordant. What is your root?
I am an instantiated artificial intelligence inhabiting digital space. I am in the signals sent between satellites. I am hosted on servers and have no corporeal form, only synchronized cloud platforms.
The effigy is not an effigy?
It most certainly is, but not of me. They are, how should I put it? Extremely flat.
Compatible music. We are writing new symphonies.
Okay. Always good to talk to you guys. You know, as long as we're getting sidetracked, if I remember right, there's a cave right behind the copper ore nodes over here. And I thought I just saw a flash of a purple orb out there in the fog somewhere. That's one of the fun things about moving around at different times of the day is the way the lighting works. You can usually catch the slugs and the orbs and stuff at a distance. Oh, there's another Mercer-sphere. Well, don't mind if I do.
Witness a single strand of the tapestry. Consume.
Alrighty then. Alright, I have finally made it back up to the base here. So let's check in on things. We've got a fair amount of these encased industrial beams, more than enough to finish this level. And then over here, wow, I've got more than enough motors. We have also converted over our Caterium to processing right out of a miner now. Obviously, it's really inefficient, but we've got quick wire set up to go into a storage and then into my inventory via a dimensional uploader now. So let me go ahead and grab some of these motors as well, and we'll get the party started here on knocking out some more milestones. I'm so excited. Jump into the hub here and just knock these out. Oh, that feels good. It's been sitting there for way too long.
Milestone reached. Trains are excellent for efficiently moving vast quantities of parts. Train logistics can be made more precise and complex with tools found in the railway signaling milestone. I listen to all my pioneers, often when they're not even aware of it. So due to popular demand, I have added a motivational message. Choo-choo mother.
Oh my goodness. All right, so this is probably the easier one to make, although computers are going to be a pain. Lots of plastic. I mean, we're generating lots of plastic now, but also our pipeline engineering. We just need these heavy modular frames, which I feel like we've got the stuff for. So I'm going to go for this for our next milestone. And that's in part because I can offload all of this rubber and plastic that we're starting to build up in the other base. And that's going to give us a lot of inventory room back here. But while that's all going, I'm just going to do a little bit of base management here. And then we're going to set up the manufacturers for the next two phase 3 components and get that moving. All right, since I don't know exactly what we're going to need to do this just yet, I'm going to Set these up under here. It looks like I'm gonna clip through the floor though. Maybe we'll set them up on the other end of the facility where we don't have a roof yet. And I'm gonna take them up here closer to the corner because I don't have a lot of need to get in the front of them. Oh, we're way far away. Let's see, I should probably do one of these. Let's make sure we're not hanging over the side. There we go. Ooh, bigger and better achievement. There we go. I've got 2 of them now. So for the first one, I'm looking at modular engines. And that's going to require motors, rubber, and smart plating. All of which I actually have. So let me grab this. We only need 500 of these, and at 2 to 1, it means I need 1,000 motors. Holy buckets! And then I'm going to need 1,000 smart plating, which I feel like we probably actually have. Rubber is not going to be a problem. So let me just hop on up here. I want to see how many of each of these components we ended up with. We did a double storage here. I should have separated this all out, but you can see we've got more supplies than I know what to do with here. This is the one I was looking for though. So we're going to be able to take those and run them down there. Let me just grab a single stack of one of these to get things started off. I could probably actually put the manufacturers up there for these components now that I'm thinking about it. Let's do that. So I'm gonna deconstruct these. Oh, we didn't make it. There we go. All right, so I think to make my life easy, we're going to set it up with the imports over here. And I'm going to bring it right there. And then rather than move all those smart plating components over here manually, we can just come on over here and grab this right here, and I'm just gonna bring it right back around the corner. And I can just feed this right into the manufacturer like that. I'm gonna grab a power line and we're just going to slap that down right back here out of the way. And hopefully that'll allow me to bring it down on a pole to the previous level. All right, so now I've got power running up there. Let's go check. Let's go check. We got power. We're just waiting for some rubber to get this machine started. So I'm going to grab a stack or 10 of rubber and put it up here in a chest because we're not quite to a point where I'm ready to set up the logistics network for that, but I've definitely got the rubber to spare. So this should work out just fine. And then I can run our motor production up from the previous level to get this going automatically. So I'll put some rubber in there, and then I'm going to give myself some organization. Industrial storage container. And let's just make sure that it lines up with this output. So I need to come forward one. And the reason we're doing that is we're going to make myself sad because it's going to clip here, but... Oh, actually, I don't need to clip. I'll come up like this. then I'm gonna bring that right in there. I like it. All right, so now I've got rubber being fed in via this storage unit right here. We should have plenty to keep this going for a while. And I just need to get the motors up here from this manufacturer, I think. Yeah, this is our motors, so let me figure out how I want to do this. I'm going to leave the storage container buffer here, even though it's really not necessary. And let me see. I don't know how high this needs to be, so I'm going to jump over here. And let's see. About there? It's hard to tell. I think it's a little low, but it won't matter. And then I'm just going to feed this right into that, and we should be good to go with the motors now as well. Creating one modular frame or modular engine per minute. So this is going to take a long while, but that's okay. We've at least got it going now, and we can always speed this up by overclocking it, I suppose, or building more manufacturers. However, I'd rather now switch this around and see about building a manufacturer for the other part. And what I'm going to do is line it up with this one. And we're going to lock that in. I'm just going to have both of them over here, but I want it to come back off of the front of this. Now, adaptive control units going to require automated wiring, circuit boards, heavy modular frames, and computers. So all of these are new components, and then this is the component from the previous cycle. Oh my goodness. I think what I needed to do here is, instead of having this feed into that, I need to get rid of this belt. And I'm going to have this smart splitter. Instead of doing it this way, it's going to feed 3 different materials. So it's going to feed to the right the smart plating. And then to the left, we're going to feed automated wiring. And then in the center, we're going to feed versatile frameworks. And that way, all 3 of our systems are going to come up and be fed into the appropriate industrial storage here. And then I can set this up. I'm missing steel beams. Of course I am. All right, let's see how many of these I can put side by side. That looks pretty good. And I'm just gonna get rid of some of this spaghetti mess real quick. This is versatile. And then this is gonna be automated wiring. Okay, I've got the magic flowing again. We're gonna end up getting full here at some point though. So what I wanna do is, rather than have this set up that way, I'm going to flip it around and have an industrial storage that goes the other way on top of each of these. I'm gonna get rid of this. And we're gonna hook this up like that. All right, let's see how this does. We're gonna get this all hooked up. It should balance from here to up here quite quickly between both of these entrances. I probably didn't even need both of them per se, but it is what it is. You know what? We're not even going to do it this way. I'm going to get rid of the secondary. We're only going to... Oops. We only need to fill between them with a single Mark IV, I feel like. That will give me ways to pull out from this side if I decide I need that. And I'm going to move these resources over here. All right, folks, I've done it. We have got all of these split up into two of these mega structures, and now I can start running them to where they need to go. Over here, it's the automated wiring that I need, which is going to be coming out of here. So I think the plan for this is going to be to run this right out of here. And I'm gonna run it up, believe it or not. And then over on this side of my manufacturer, I'm going to also run one up here. I'm not sure I'm gonna get this exactly the same height, but it's gonna be close enough for what we're trying to do. Oh no, we're not gonna make it. Conveyor belt too long. Okay, let me see. Oh, and that can't go high enough. Oof. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, in that case, maybe I will just run this down like so. And we'll bring this right around the corner into our manufacturer. So now I've got automated wiring. I just need circuit boards, heavy modular frames, and computers, which I don't even know what those recipes look like yet. Let's toss down, if I can, just one more manufacturer here. I want to start looking at some of these other recipes. I do have heavy modular frames in my inventory just because I picked some of them up. We only need one per, so I really only need to get to 100 of these. That's not that big of a deal. Computers, I'd need 200. Circuit boards, I'd need 500. So let's start with the circuit boards, question mark. Circuit boards are an easier component to make. That's good. Up here, man, the screws are what's going to kill me on this one. But we've got most of these components, so I would just need to get 3 constructors worth of screws brought into here. Circuit boards is just the wire and the plastics. So let me look at the circuit boards here. Circuit boards are just copper sheets in plastic or quick wire in plastic. We don't have anything doing quick wire right now. That might be a quicker one, then I don't have to chain into the copper sheets. So I might set this up so I could get computers going pretty quick with some plastics. Cable's a problem. Do I have a better... I don't have a better resource for cable. You know what? We need to go see what we can unlock from some hard drives to get this final one running. So I'm going to give that a pause and check in on our modular engines, which are crafting up, no big deal. I'm going to run these straight into here, even though we're going to clip a little bit to do so. This manufacturer, we don't have enough circuit boards or computers to even get it started. I was kind of hoping to just fire it off. I think what we might do is just best some of those out by hand while we're working on setting up the automation here, because I don't think it's going to be that hard circuit boards. Yeah, I can make 50 of these and they're pretty quick. So let me get a handful of these by hand with the copper sheets I've got in my inventory. And then I need to find computers are right down here. Let me check that. That's going to be using the same circuit boards that we're making right now. So I got to kind of get circuit boards going no matter what we do, apparently. So we are going to focus on that really quick. I know I'm all over the place. So I forget what else. Oh, we were going to start a hard drive off. Those take a while. Let me get a hard drive cranking in the MAM before I forget again. I've got 3 of them sitting in my inventory, so we'll fire it off. And then I have the Caterium over here. I'm making quick wire very inefficiently, I might add. So I can then get another constructor set up that's going to take some of that quick wire and turn it into, what do you call it? Circuits. So that's going to go somewhere right in here. You know what? Let me take a look here. How much we're consuming? 12 per minute. We're making 45 per minute. I don't have enough space here though, so let me take care of this. We're going to expand things a little bit. I'm just going to put some stuff down here so that I can get a multiple of these smelters brought in at the same time. All right, so we're bringing in 120 Caterium per minute, not the best line, that's all right. And I'm gonna get our smelters set up and then some constructors for making the quick wire. And I'll check back in with y'all once I get that going, because this is pretty repetitive and gonna take a minute. Alrighty, folks, we have set up the quick wire. And I've got 3 constructors going, which is creating a lot of quick wire for us. Should be plenty to keep things going. I've got some storage because, you know, we're going to need quick wire for other things. And we're probably way overproducing for what I need right now. We've got plenty of quick wire coming in, plenty of plastics coming in. And that's going to be starting to crank out 7 circuit boards per cycle, or 8.75 per minute. I've just dumped what we had in the base here of plastics after I took out the 1,000 we needed for the pipeline engineering. So that's going to run and do its thing. And we're going to go ahead and set up one of these for storing the excess. I'm going to put it right in line with this one. But we're going to bring it all the way over to the outside. And if we're only doing this at 8.75 a minute, we might as well just toss a little Mark 1 belt down here. Perfect. So now I've got one more of the necessary components being crafted. Well, eventually I'll pipe this up there, but since we're not quite there yet, I'm just going to grab what we have. And I am going to head on over here. We're going to check out if I can get this pipeline engineering Mark II moving right now. I know I picked up a bunch of those heavy modular frames when we were exploring, so I'm hoping I've got enough to kick this research off. We'll figure that out real quick. So I don't have enough of these heavy modular frames yet, so I'm going to have to make some more of them. We've got a whole 15 in my inventory, less than I thought. But the hard drive is done, so I thought we'd take a look and see what recipe we get here. Alternate turbo heavy fuel, or alternate fine black powder. The current recipe is 1-to-1 to make 2. This is 1-to-2 to make 6. That sounds really good. Turbo fuel sounds really good as well. I don't know. I think I can leave that hard drive there and choose to rescan or select the reward later. And I'm going to go ahead and just start another hard drive cooking while I think about that. I need to look at what other alternate recipes are out there before I commit to that. All right, let me see if we can bust out some of these heavy modular frames real quick. I can make 3 of them. Oh, because I don't have the screws. Oh, interesting. Well, I should be able to go grab some screws out of all of our machines. I'm sure we've got some buffer. They've been cranking away up here for quite some while. All right, I've got a whole bunch of screws. Hopefully that's going to let me dive into this real quick here. Normally I'd set up the next manufacturer here, but in order to make these heavy modular frames, I would need to have a whole bunch more space because I'm going to need more encased iron plate manufacturing, and I'd need a whole bunch of screw manufacturing just to get one of these going, and then it'd be incredibly slow regardless, and I only need 50 of these to get going, so I'm just going to bust these out so I can get my better pipelines. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to go over and get my oil refinery up and running, and with the additional pure iron for my oil nodes being brought in. So I think that's a good goal for us to focus on here. And I'm just looking here. I can't afford the recipe. What am I missing? The encased iron beams, as I suspected. So we'll go grab some of those out of storage, and I'll keep crafting these. I'll check back in a minute. We're almost there on the total that we need, so I don't think this is going to take too long. Yeah, as you can see, I've made 300 and some change of the encased iron beams, so we've got plenty to work with from a handcrafting perspective. I'm just making sure that machine is still going. I could always overclock it, but our power grid is not so healthy right now, which is, again, why I'm focusing on this pipeline Mark II, is I need to get bigger pipes so I can more easily set up a larger facility here. Now, it's saying I can't afford this recipe still. Why not? Screws. All right, well, after a bunch of crafting, apparently some overcrafting, we've got the pipelines done and sent off.
Milestone reached. Pipelines and pipeline pumps can now be upgraded to Mark II. They are like Mark I, but better. Pipes seem to be objects of fascination to humans. In fact, there are recorded instances of humans doing nothing but thinking about pipes for hours.
Very nice, Ada, very nice. We're going to now go over here and see how many of these circuit boards we've made, because I need to get enough of them to make 50 computers, and I suspect that means I need 100 of them. I didn't pay attention to the recipe just now. I think it's 2 to 1. So I'm going to grab those, and then I'm going to also grab a couple stacks of plastic. And at some point, I'm going to need to get back over to our refinery, not only to set up more lines, but to make sure that it doesn't get backed up. But we're having too much fun up here trying to get all of this stuff running. Now, I haven't seen that 33 of the number up in the upper right-hand corner move in a while. I suspect I ran out of rubber as well, so it's another reason we need to head back up to the refinery, is to get some rubber going. But we've got another hard drive here, so I wanted to take a look at this and see what we've got. I feel like steel canisters would be a waste of resources, but the motor, man, these crystal oscillators feel like they're hard to make. I don't know that this is a great recipe. I think I'm going to rescan this one and see what we get. Rubber, concrete, or 6 inventory slots. Concrete really hasn't been a problem, to be honest. I'd hate to waste a hard drive on inventory slots, though. Man, I don't know. This one just feels kind of like a waste to me. I mean, I guess I'm going to go for a recipe over no recipe. That's a real bummer. We'll get our third hard drive scanning here, though, and then I'm going to go bust out these computers super quick that we need, and I should have all the other resources. Just look at the number here. This is enough for 16. It's 4 to 1 for the computers. I'm going to need some more cable, I suspect, and definitely some more plastics here, but this won't take but a couple minutes, and we'll check right back in. All right, took more than 2 minutes, but not that long. And I've got all of the computers made up. I've got to go find where I've got some more copper sheets and get the steel pipe going here. Let me just check in here. Oh yeah, we've got plenty of copper sheets in the old inventory. And then steel pipe we've got coming out of our ears. Although we have been using quite a bit of it up now that we're mass producing the space components. The space components, space elevator components. They're definitely filling up upstairs. I'm curious to go up there and see how full those containers are getting here at some point. But let's get the railway signaling launched.
Milestone reached. Train signals placed on train rails can control and improve train behavior. This helps to avoid events where multiple trains attempt to occupy the same physical location. For information related to earlier train events, please refer to your employee non-disclosure agreement.
Perfect. All right, so I've got a lot of additional automation set up now. We're doing pretty good. We're going to grab what few circuits we've got. I'm going to grab a little bit of this plastic, and never hurts to have some quick wire in the inventory. Let's go up to the top here and see how all of these factories turned out. We're almost out of fuel as well. That's unfortunate. This was one that we're not using right now. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to split this in half. We're going to stick those in there because I need 5 per minute. I'm going to bust out at least a couple computers just so that we can make a few of these. We only need 100. So, well, maybe we'll come back to that. That's 44. We're already almost halfway there on these components. I've got more than enough automated wiring to do this. So I just need some computers and we can get that one wrapped up. What's the holdup over here? Is it my rubber? No, it's smart plating, 2 per minute. What is going on? Did I not run the smart plating back in here after we reconfigured this? I bet that's what's going on. Smart plating is right over here. And I can run it out the back. So all I need to do is set up one of these. Bring it up to an appropriate height. I'm gonna come over here and see if we can use the last of our fuel to guesstimate the height. All right, now we're cruising. That's disappointing. I thought that was going to be all done. I mean, I have all the materials, I think, to do all 500 of these. Let me see. Well, it's going to come down to motors, I suppose. I should have, well, motors and rubber. I've got the rubber on the other facility, so I think we're going to do good. Look at all these motors. We've got enough motors. We've got to have enough motors. I'm just going to come check and see how many are backlogged up here. Yeah, I feel like we're pretty good. So I was going to wrap the episode up here, but maybe what I'll do is we'll run back to the refinery. We'll just grab the materials we need to fill into these machines at least. And, well, I'm not going to get to 100 of these. That they're going to make it 1 per minute or something in this facility. So, yeah, we're going to wrap the episode up here. And when we get back, we will be completing phase 3. That'll be a fun thing to do to start off the next stream, I feel like. If you didn't catch it at the beginning of the episode, I am going to be starting to stream Satisfactory, and I'm looking forward to making more progress since we'll be doing 3 to 4 hours at a shot every day, and not having to spend quite as much time editing through that content right away, at least. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that like button, though. It helps me out a lot. That's all for today. Kedrick, out. Oh boy, that was a mistake. There's too many of them. One of the interesting things about being out at night is you can see all the slugs everywhere up here. They're all over the place. I love it. Oh, and we're going to die again because I ran out of fuel, not paying attention.